So this I call, like, we have a city of Seattle, then we have a city in a city, or I call them the village, right? So, or we have city in a city, or we have a village. Then we have our dear rats. It's like probably in this place, I counted one time very fast, 85. In 2 minutes, I count 85 rats. And you see all these holes in there, that's where they hide. And once upon a time, this place, this park was really a nice park. And I don't know, to Seattle that did change, like especially with COVID. So it's different. So these people are just camping out in front of the businesses and taking spots, and police and everybody just leaving them alone. So they're doing drugs. They're like, police don't bother. They don't even go in there. So this is only one camp. So far I know 6 camps, and that they're all of them are bigger than this one. So
people who are already in, I guess you could say, a state of existence where their community is broken down, their structure is broken down, so their social structure, as far as their friends, their family, their work, and their other associations have all collapsed. So it can be a feeling of overwhelming, not just loneliness and, I guess, letdown, as far as you feel let down by other people and you feel as though you've let them down. It creates this huge deficit in your life, and instead of pulling that or removing it from people, it should be instilled, it should be given. That type of sense of community is something they're going to be looking for anyway, desperately. As much as they try to push it away and repel it as an excuse to use, or something because they already have all these other deep problems and pain that they're not either capable of letting go of, or just whatever it may be that their fight or their struggle is, that's keeping them in such a state of emotional and I guess cultural even pain, being social pain, mental pain, their anguish that they're in, is something where they're going to need more support. There's no solution for, I guess you could say, any kind of an internal struggle other than learning how to be a part of a community and love. Love is love is the law. If we follow that law right there, whether we pertain to ourselves or each other, it doesn't seem to go wrong.
So,
in earnest.
And what you will say for the homelessness? What community? How you call this community, and what community you guys belong to?
Well, we live outside here in public places. The community that we have are each other, and what else but everyone.
You have yours, and
we have the city. That's what it is. The entire city, and all of the people here that are, if you look at the area, this part of town, or these different parts of town where we are all generally centrally located, we will be right next to the people that are producing and doing and really, really successful. So you see the most successful people in a city and the people who would be considered the least success, standing and walking and living those same pathways, those same places. We're right next door to each other. We are so close to each other. And so those individuals that are extremely capable, those individuals that everyone does look to for a role model, for a legal, I guess you could say, a legal representative
Yes,
or a
yes.
legal, authority figure, and someone who, I guess, not just a role model, but a scholar that is of the only. Okay, so there are some issues, several very severe issues as far as the places that are existing right now. The amount of people that can get in and shower in time before they close down, it's not going to be high. You can get people in and out as much as you can, as fast as you can, but there's going to be wear and tear on a facility, and there's also going to be, at least with the way that it is, overflow of people, not enough time for everyone. The amount of time that it takes to get your laundry done and dry, and then of course, if we're not actually communally doing laundry and we're doing it because each person has to have their own individual one to use, and we don't own a lot of clothes, or some people own a lot of clothes, it can vary so much, and the availability is definitely not adequate at this point in time. The porta potties and things like that are available in other places are, I guess I'd say, they're really something that's only a band-aid. You can have a ton of portables everywhere that are just your standard portable restrooms, and they're not going to do, it's just too much work to have those, and I think probably at some point it gets pretty expensive as well. Plus people do not respect them. They will vandalize them, they will just the whole, they will mistreat them. In an uncontrolled environment, we see that people will mistreat them quite a bit, and who wants to deal with that anyway? Just the whole thing. So an actual structure that could be built that, honestly, wouldn't you like to be able to, if you had used the restroom, even if you have a place to live or not, be able to do so and not have to go into some business perhaps and try to figure out whatever. If there's just a regular restroom there that's clean and maintained properly, it's just, why wouldn't we want to have more of that availability? So that of course creates more work anyhow. It's industry. It's expanding industry.
And it is a problem. This is a number one problem in Seattle now.
Well, I was going to say, look, let's just be honest about it right now as far as it goes. I don't want to go and get totally vulgar about it, but you can smell it. Okay. If you don't like it being in front of your doorstep, as far as in front of your apartment building, your parking garage, where you park your car, or your, when you want to go to your office for work, or whatever retail front it's there. If you don't like that smell, if you don't like seeing it, if it is something that you would, I guess, like to solve, and blaming the individual that is in a situation already isn't going to be the solution.
No,
the only thing that can be done is let's offer as much, within reason, availability of public restroom and a good waste system and cleanliness as we can. In the day and age we live in, with people and the numbers we are dealing with the diseases that we have going on out right now in the pandemic and all of it as a whole, what have we all learned from this? It means clearly that people have got to start physically protecting themselves and each other, or we're going to lose more people.
Exactly.
That's just
true.
two ways about it.
Yes, definitely.
Lose more people.
Yeah, we need a long-term solution.
Or we're going to lose quality of life.
Yes,
so
definitely.
It's like, okay, well, you may not die, but the quality of life for everyone goes down. It's a sharp and huge decline that...
Sorry, before we move, what is your favorite drugs now? Are you using any drugs, or are you just drinking alcohol? Or what?
I use opiates and amphetamines. Mostly I don't drink a whole ton. I'm trying not to drink much. It's not really,
Nothing.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to drink, but it's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not on a huge regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, I have substituted, in the past, where if I'm doing opiates and amphetamines and I quit, alcohol can make a substitution oftentimes if I let it out of control. So that's why right now I'm like, I don't even want to let that cat out of the bag right now. I'm focusing on other things. So I wanted to leave because I just every time that I try to get clean in another state, or especially my home state, I just end up using, and it's like this ingrained pattern that can kind of happen. But also I find it the memories of everything that I'm seeing, everything that I'm, all the places I have to go if I'm in my hometown. I have all these memories from all these things that have happened. And it's not, you have a choice, but walking those same pathways or riding those same bus lines and things like that over and over and over again, so much has gone on when you've literally been living outside in those same areas, because public transportation is going to also define so much of where you're at logistically if you don't have a vehicle. So it becomes an intricate part of your life in such a way that is, I guess, anybody relying upon public transportation knows how it is, and how vital that is. So I guess it's like well, it becomes it's hard to really walk around those places and experience those memories, because even if your brain over time kind of lets go of some stuff,
is the habits that are still there.
The habits are still there.
Yes.
And not just the habits though, because over time people, I guess, the habits, and then of course things that have occurred sometimes, either whether it may be just I lost someone over here,
bad memories,
a fight with a family member or something over there, or just a bad night out on the street having nothing and being cold, or just suffering, a lot of suffering in different places in different ways. It kind of creates a whole nother type of, I guess, what's the word, malaise, you know what I mean? It creates this whole, like, looking back now, it's not just, when a problem, it goes from just a short term or a shorter term issue from 1 year, 2 years of homelessness or whatever pain, whatever you're going through, or whatever existence it is that's uncomfortable, and becomes long term. There are more of, that sort of resonates within you a little more, and it's deeper as far as how much it makes you upset or can bring you down, I guess. And thus allow us to kind of just delve into it even further. It's like that your excuse for being able to use drugs or whatever it would be, it's almost like you have more credential in a way in your own mind. That's justification for, after being out this long or in this situation for so much time and experiencing and dealing with this for so long, is even more so strengthening our previous excuses to use.
And my next question is just what you just said, because being out on the street for this long and stuff. So my next question is, so what do you think is the solution, like, for the homelessness? Is what the state can do to help homeless people? What is that you guys need the most?
Okay, so what's needed the most to help the situation altogether. So the solution to first improve things would be the availability or more opportunity for a public restroom system to be set up for sanitary and, just a place to shower, a place to wash your hands, a place to use the restroom, so they don't have to go knocking on doors of businesses that don't
or
have
they
any
just go
business with
behind
us.
here,
or how about, I was gonna say,
they have rats,
or just anywhere else
that
that an individual could find, because here it's like if you have to use the bathroom, eventually you're going to.
Yeah.
Especially if you've only got one pair of clothes or set of clothes, and you're like so a lot of girls
Yeah.
are like, you know what? I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, I'll just change them.
Yeah.
They don't have that opportunity to,
But still,
or even
You
option.
let go if you have a pants, but you
me.
still need to wash. But that later you're gonna stink. Like,
Yeah, either way, it's the whole being forced into the situation because you're being denied
exactly.
the availability of places to use the restroom and the willingness of those employees and owners of, you know, all the different places around are going to depend upon a lot of things. And someone in active addiction is not going to, they're definitely not going to meet the standards that, you know, these individuals
Yes.
would like to uphold in their places of business
Yeah.
and work, and they might be just pouring their whole life into a business. And you know, at one point it may be very gracious to allow someone in and to use the restroom, clean
Yeah.
up or whatever, but with numbers like we have today,
Oh yeah.
it
In this
becomes-
area, I think we have 80 to 100 people just in this area.
it becomes overwhelming, and it becomes sort of, I guess, what's the word? The people lose appreciation and they stop doing their part because it's. I mean, we've seen a restroom at a stadium or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
There's so many people. At some point, everybody's just got to get in, get their business done,
Yeah,
and go.
yeah.
And
I'm here now on James and 4th Avenue. So this couple of blocks from James Cherry up to Columbia is occupied with tents. So the sidewalks are occupied with tents and garbage. There is a lot of garbage. It's just so dirty. Some areas are really, really bad. Look at this. So downtown is kind of empty. People are working from home. So I'm approaching now. I'm still on the 4th Avenue, and over there is Yesler Street. So this is what I was talking about. You see those tents here? So people just start hiding under the bridges, and they move on the sidewalk. So there is really no space if you want to walk on the street. So on the sidewalk there is no space. They're taking the space away. Hi. They're taking the space away. So this is how much the sidewalk there is in some areas. So I don't know. So there is election for the mayor position, and I know the topic is they're talking about the homeless people. So they really need to do something. They need to clean the city. They need to clean the parks, and they need to clean the sidewalk, so we the people can feel safe walking on a sidewalk. Here you see I have a sidewalk for myself, but just if you turn around, like there is no space, you either have to walk by them and you don't know who's in there, which is not secure, or you have to walk almost on the street. So do you guys see the issue here? I do, and I'm sure you guys do too. But the